Hey friends, welcome back to the channel Merely on Time Watch Reviews. I'm very excited to be showing you this watch today. This is my full review of the Farr and Swit Solar Chronograph Chicago Auto West Club Edition. They have made a really fantastic and unique timepiece. Like all of their timepieces, this is one of my favorite micro brands based out of the United States. One of the very first watches I got from them, well, no, it's not one of, it's the very first watch that I got from them was this really cool sweeping quartz, the Wayfinder sweeping quartz. The lume on this thing is absolutely phenomenal, and the lume on this solar chronograph is great as well. They make awesome watches. I'm proud to be an affiliate partner, so if the watch that you see today is something that tickles your fancy, please go to the affiliate link listed in the description of the video, and if you want to purchase the watch, you'll get a discount with the affiliate link, as well as I'll get a finder's fee for being an affiliate partner. So let's get into this review. Just ahead, my up close and personal video montage that I do. Then I'll just do the specifications of the watch, and then my likes and my gripes about the watch. And at the conclusion of the video, I have a conversation with the co-founder of the company, Adam Hodge, who talks about the brand and the designs, and we just have a great conversation. And so skip forward to that if you want. I'll chapter this video out so you can go to the various sections and navigate that a little bit easier. So with all of that, let's get into the review of this beautiful Solar Chronograph by Farr and Swit. Let's do it. Hey guys, we'll jump back to the review in just a minute, but I wanted to take a minute to highlight my new affiliate partner, Ekster. Ekster makes a premium lineup of wallets and card holders and other amazing accessories like this Parliament wallet that was sent to me. And you can get this wallet right now on their Black Friday sale running from November 10th to the 26th for as low as $53 US. And you can get an additional 5% off of that even when you use the promo code Merely on Time. So go to the link that you see listed on the screen there now, enter the code Merly on Time for an additional 5% off, meaning you can get up to 55% off of Ekster's amazing products. Now, this is their Parliament wallet, which they sent to me, and I absolutely love the compact size and the fact that all of my important cards can fit inside of this aluminum card holder, which is RFID protected so that my banking information cannot be stolen wirelessly, and I can easily access my cards with the click of a button. The wallet, when you open it up, also comes with a nice money holder and additional slots for other cards. This is an amazing product and would make an amazing gift for the guys in your life. And so head on over to the Ekster website link that you see right here, the affiliate partnership link that I have. Enter the promo code Merly on Time to save an additional 5%, meaning up to 55% off of their amazing products during the Black Friday sale. Head on over there right now and check them out.
Guys, as always, I hope you enjoyed the up close and personal of this watch, and I hope you can see just how beautiful and unique this watch is. I absolutely love it. So let's go over the specifications, shall we? The price of this watch is $489 US. And so what are you getting for your money? Well, you have a case size of 42 millimeters. The thickness without the NATO strap on it is 12.5 millimeters thick, has a lug width of 22 millimeters, and the lug-to-lug length with the nice downturn of those lugs, which definitely makes this a little definitely more wearable and fits smaller than a 42, I would say, because of that downturn. But the lug-to-lug length is just over 50 millimeters at 50.5 millimeters. The watch is water resistant to 100 meters. The movement in this watch is the Seiko powered solar mecha quartz. Yeah, a solar mecha quartz chronograph. And so as a chronograph, you have the running seconds hand for the watch at the subdial here at the 6 o'clock, and the 60-minute chronograph timer is up there at the 12, and the red seconds hand is the chronograph seconds hand, which you activate by pushing the top button. And as you can see, this is indeed a sweeping quartz, or a mecha quartz, I should say. And yeah, absolutely fantastic. And the solar powered component to it, according to Farr and Swit website, the watch on a full charge, which takes about 5 hours of sunlight, will last 5 to 6 months. The watch is constructed from surgical grade 316L stainless steel, and it has a really nice satin finish on the side of the case. You've seen in the up close and personal the nice embossed screw down case back that it has. Really has a nice mirror polish finish on that bezel as well. And so the finishing is done to an excellent standard. You do have a screw down embossed case back, a screw down crown, really nice large crown with a great grip and knurling on it. And it is absolutely buttery smooth to operate. You do have a date complication at the 3 o'clock, and so you just pull the crown out to position 1 to adjust the date, and you just turn it clockwise to do that. All right. And it, as I said, really buttery smooth crown action on this. Absolutely fantastic. You have a sapphire crystal covering the dial. It has AR coating on that. And the lume on this watch is really fantastic. They use C3 green grade XEF and C9 teal grade X. I'm really not sure what all of that means, but I can tell you that the lume on this watch is pretty fantastic. Here's the lume shot now, the time-lapse lume coming up. Now, for these lume shots on the time-lapse videos, if the lume lasts beyond 20 minutes and the hour and minute hand and indices and whatnot are still visible, that's just really, really good and excellent lume beyond the 20-minute mark. So let's check out the lume video time-lapse right now. The watch comes with 2 straps, Both are military style NATO straps, and you can see this one here, which is the custom racing strap. Yeah, looks absolutely fantastic on the wrist, and does so as well on the military seatbelt style strap. I'll show you that right now. Here it is on the military style seatbelt, and yeah, that black really makes the rest of the watch pop. And so this is a really good strap choice for the watch as well. And you can see they got the Farr and Swit brand name etched onto the strap there, as well as on one of the keepers for the pin straight strap. A little subtle on this one, but nonetheless etched onto there quite nicely. Well, so overall, you're getting a fantastic package with this, guys, in my honest opinion. But that takes me to the likes and the gripes of this watch. And I do have a few gripes to talk about, but let me talk about my likes. And like number one is the unique design. Let's just zoom in onto the dial here. I absolutely love this tire tread on the dial. Really nice black lacquer polish on the dial, where the solar movement in it is going to be powered, and the use of the various colors, the red, the white, the green circle with the minute track printed around it, the tachometer on the outer part of this dial. I just think design-wise, this is absolutely fantastic. This is really one of the coolest watches that I have seen. The cool factor on this one is just way up there. And what I really like about this watch is I'm not only looking at it to tell the time, I am finding myself just looking at it and enjoying the design element of it. The case finishing is done to a really excellent standard. You can see that brushing is really nice and satin smooth. From a distance, you can't see the lines on it. Really nicely done. The mirror polish on the bezel, again, done to a really nice standard. And yeah, there you have a nice branded crown with the Farr and Swit star on there. Really nice finishing on this watch, and you would expect it at the price point. The Lume, as I mentioned, is really excellent on this watch. You saw the Lume shot earlier. I love the fact that it has a solar-powered mecha quartz. That's right, solar and mecha quartz together in one movement, and it is a Seiko movement. Now, the website doesn't list the specific model number of the movement, but I just think it's an excellent choice. And as that chronograph hand gets to the 12, the chronograph timer will tick over to the next minute once the seconds hand reaches the 12. So it's not a gradual turn of the chronograph minute hand. It'll just snap to the next minute as that reaches the top. As you will see, let's kind of zoom in for it. There you go. So I love the movement in this watch. I think it was an excellent choice. The downturn on the lugs, I think, makes this wear a little smaller than the 42 by 22, case size that you have, 42 millimeter case, 22 millimeter lugs. But because of the nice downturn on those lugs, it does wear a little smaller. It conforms to the wrist and will wear a little smaller. Now, the gripes. I do have a few gripes with this watch. None of which are deal breakers. And the first gripe is the price. I know that some people are going to be, bawling about the price of $489 USD, but I think the price is competitive with other micro brands on the market. But as a Canadian that has to pay currency exchange, it would be nice if this watch was just a little bit cheaper. The straps is also just a personal gripe of mine, personal preference, but I would really like to see, Adam, in future releases, a stainless steel strap option for some of these lineup of watches. I'm not a huge fan of NATO-style straps, and so Adam was really nice enough to send me a FKM rubber strap, which you saw at the beginning of the video. Again, the Farr and Swit branding is on the buckle there. And I personally think that the that the rubber FKM should be the main strap for the watch, and maybe throw in one of these other NATOs with it. But I really would like to see a stainless steel option come on. That would be awesome. And I think, the price point would actually be more justified with stainless steel rather than these military style NATO straps. Now, the subdials on this one, this is my other gripe. They are quite small, aren't they? I like the minute track and the markers, minute markers, second markers that are printed on the dial, but for a chronograph, I just think these subdials could be a little bit bigger. Now, I did mention this to Adam, and it really depends on what the movement will allow. And if the movement would allow them to be a little bit bigger, I think that you could maybe lose the indices at the 12 and the 6 and just make that subdial just a little bit bigger. That would be preferable to me if it was possible. And last but not least, this is a real minor one and not a big deal at all. Let me zoom out just a hair here. No date on the card. For warranty purposes, I'm sure they have a record of my purchase online and whatnot. And I know without a shadow of a doubt that you're going to get amazing customer service if you have an issue with your watches. And you'll hear Adam talk about this as well. It's all a part of the package, the customer service that they offer. You're not going to have an issue. You got an issue with a watch? They'll take it back. No issues whatsoever. But yeah, it would be nice just to have the date on there as a visual reminder. That's it, guys. That is the Solar Quartz Chicago Auto West Club edition. Really fantastic timepiece, and I think they hit it out of the park with this watch. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and stick around for the conversation with Adam. It's coming right up. So guys, remember, whenever you leave your house, you have to have a fantastic piece to wear on your wrist like this Solar Chronograph Mecha Quartz Chicago Auto West Club edition by Farr and Swit. And remember, wherever you're going, get there on time. Thanks, guys. Here is the conversation with Adam. Enjoy.
Okay, everybody, if you have skipped to this section of the video to watch this conversation with Adam and I, thanks for doing that, but make sure to go back and watch the rest of the review of the Solar Quartz Chronograph. But I'm so excited to be talking with the owner of Farr and Swit and founder of Farr and Swit, Adam Hodge, or Hodges?
Hodge is just one of me.
Just
No, and my name is actually part of the brand name. So my middle name is Farrand, and then another partner, his name is Andy, and then another partner, his last name is Switowski. So basically, we took the Farr from which can be pronounced either way, Farr and Swit, whichever way people want to do it, and that's how we kind of came up with the whole brand name in general.
Alrighty, awesome. So there's two of you. You're more the I haven't seen the other. What's the first name of your partner?
So Andy is the jewelry designer. He's actually he's won awards for his jewelry design. He designs my wedding ring. He just designed another ring for my wife. He's awesome. Cool. And then old time friend Zach Switowski is the Swit. So there's actually like three of us. I kind of spearhead the whole thing. I'm really involved in it. So yeah, I do a lot of the interview stuff. Yeah. So how I want to start. First of all, I want to compliment the brand.
Thank you. Because now I've been collecting watches somewhat seriously and doing a YouTube channel for close to 3 years now. And there's only been a couple of watches, like a handful of watches, that when I saw them, I was like, this is a must-have. I have to have this watch. One of the first ones I saw, and I ended up getting my own, and ended up, I don't know if you remember, but we collaborated on a giveaway of this one. Hopefully it'll fuzz out a little bit, but the Wayfinder Sweeping Quartz, I absolutely, absolutely love this watch. And I saw it on Instagram on an FKM rubber strap. It comes with the NATO straps, which are great. But when I saw this watch, I'm like, I have to have it. It is just so damn cool, unique. And the other one that we're doing the review of, this amazing solar chronograph, and I think a lot of people are going to love the Vice edition as well. Did you sell out of one of the Vice editions, or are they still kind of in the making?
So I did the Vice edition with the green. Let me see if I have one here. So funny story, I had done like a couple Instagram posts of this one.
That is so cool.
Oh, it's nuts. I had done prototypes of it. So we came out with the CACW edition, which is kind of built for auto enthusiasts, has the tire tread. And I had always had this vision of doing one with like a 1980s backdrop to the Lamborghini poster that you have on your wall. I don't know if you're the same age as me, but that's the kind of thing I used to have hanging on my wall. So I did this watch, and I actually spent a lot of time designing it, thinking it would never happen. Made a couple prototypes, did some Instagram posts. The next thing I know, I get hit up by a bunch of people. When is this coming out?
Yeah.
You need to have this. You need to make this. So we said, all right, we're going to do it for fun. We're going to call it the Vice edition. We're going to launch it at 85 of them, kind of on the whole 85 theme.
Yep.
Did the pre-order. Random Rob, another guy who does YouTube videos, awesome guy. Helped kind of promote it. He was one of the guys who I would say pushed me over the finish line to make this and gave me the confidence.
Very cool.
Yeah, say, hey, this is a cool watch. Go ahead and do it. And yeah, we sold out pre-order really quick. I'd say within a week, maybe.
Yeah.
And then I've got another one coming up. So that was a limited edition. That one's numbered 1 to 85. But the demand is still there. People are wanting it. So we're doing one called the Bubblegum Edition.
Yeah, with the pink.
I don't know if we're necessarily going to limit it, but we're going to launch in a batch of 100. So when those 100 come in, they're probably going to go real quick. And then if we can get more, we'll get more. And it's just such a unique watch. So that one's nuts.
So the one that is 85, you're not going to re-release it at all. You're just going to come out with
colorway. No,
okay.
Like that itself with the greens that line up and the pink and yellow. Those are going to be that's it. Like I feel like I can't burn those guys who I said you get something unique.
Yeah.
Limited. So we changed the colorway on it. We changed the colors, and we may do another color scheme as another addition to it to help people want the watch, and I love the watch, and it looks so cool on the wrist.
It does.
We'll stay true to that one limited edition, but also kind of follow up with different color editions as well.
Yeah, so this is a good moment. Now, you're not going to be able to see this on your end, Adam, but I want to jump over to the website and just show the folks the watches that you do have. And then I'm going to ask you just about how you founded the company and everything else like that. So let's just jump over. There are three... what do you call them? Not brands. Three
lines.
Three lines. Yeah, there you go. And so we're looking at them now. You've got the Seaplane Swiss Automatic, which I think I love the Day Trip one. Oh my goodness, so cool! And so everyone, you can see that on the screen there now. You've got the Wayfinder. And does the Wayfinder Northside Edition have an automatic movement, or is it like the Sweeping Quartz one?
That's the Sweeping Quartz as well. We've kind of the only automatics we did where we did a real short run. We did 50 of the teal blue. We put a Swiss automatic in it. That one was gone quick. And then we did the blue. It's kind of like a denim blue with an NH35A.
Yeah.
It's just.
And there it is. There, the Wayfinder automatic.
The Sweeping Quartz is actually I like it because I can just pick it up and put it on. I mean, David Ross it stinks he's no longer the Cubs manager, but that's one of the things I think he liked the most about it was he could leave it in the locker room, come into the locker room, put it on, wear it for the game. He doesn't have to wind it. He doesn't have to worry about it. It's going to be set.
Yeah.
That is the one thing that with quartz is super cool. And I'm a snob about it where I don't like that tick. That tick hits every second. Oh, that's why the Sweeping Quartz, it was a bit of a gamble. We got it in, and I was like, oh my God, I love this. Yeah. I love it. It's so cool. And I put that side by side at shows with the NH35 automatic. I think people have even done reviews with it.
Yeah.
And it's not that
it's negligible.
They're close.
Yeah. Yeah. You're going from 4 ticks to 6 ticks per second, really. So it's negligible. It's the Sweeping Quartz is great. And the battery in mine, I just replaced the battery in mine, and I bought it over 2 years ago. And my buddy Aaron over at Watch Wit, he commented like that's awesome for sweeping courts to go over 2 years is I don't know what they're normally supposed to go, but yeah, it was probably 2.25 or so years.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I try and target 2 years. I always tell people around 2 years is when it will likely, you got to get replaced.
Yeah, so you got the 3 lines, the seaplane, very cool design. It's got the waves on the bottom half. That's just one of the things I love about Farr and Swit, and I want you to talk about the brand and how you got the company rolling with your partners there, and just give people a history of it. I just think that all of the watches are they're just unique. They're well designed. They're just bloody fantastic. I absolutely love the brand. And so, yeah, just tell people how long ago did you start it? Just the basic story of starting your company and why you wanted to start it and all of that.
Yeah, so I was a watch collector prior. Actually, I have this little story I can tell people where I was 18 and on a cruise ship and saw a Citizen Pro Diver Lume dial, believe it or not, in a window, and it got my blood pumping. I got super excited, and I plunked down like the $380 or whatever it was at the time, which is 1998. I'm an 18-year-old. That was blood money. That was hardcore. But it got me so hooked in, and I'd actually have people commenting, "Oh, I like your watch," and then you talk to them and you get into learning more about different models, and then I started getting into Watch Time magazine. I was going to Watch Time shows when it was primarily for jewelers and retailers. So I'd show up with my dad and I'd bring him along, and Zach would come along with us. I mean, it would be 90% jewelers, 90% retailers and stores, and they'd have a 3-hour presentation going through what everybody launched. And it'd be a full dinner and everything. So it was, I got deep into it. And I always tell people I've been a creator, since I can remember. I was selling tapes of my hip hop rap with my buddy Sean back on the grade school in 5th grade.
Okay. Okay, cool. I didn't know that.
I was making they were kind of making fun of No Fear Gear and Stussy. We called them Hodgeware, and they'd have some funny images and say some jokes in the back. And I'm selling them in junior high to people. So I make things. I like making things. I really enjoy it. And I had this idea to say hey, I want to make a watch that checks all the boxes, right? That I like as a watch guy, and that I can kind of use to get people who give me that spiel about, oh, I got a phone, I don't need a watch, the watches are dead. I want to show some to them and get them excited and get them when they leave talking to me, get on their cell phones, go to their computers and get down that rabbit hole that you and I go down all the time, right? So that's what kind of spawned the seaplane. The seaplane, my idea was I love Lume, I like some pilot features, I love dive watches.
Yeah.
So I used the IWC Aqua Timer. I like the sapphire crystal that they had put on the bezel. So we took that idea, but then angled it so that it would capture more light. So it would naturally grab the light and sparkle a little more. And then Andy came up with the wave pattern and how to kind of half it. And then we did the Starry Night. And we're oh my gosh.
It is so damn cool
really
looking.
Cool.
I was just on the website again today ahead of our conversation, and oh my gosh, I hadn't really looked at that model. I think we were out. We basically sold out, and then the Wayfinder came out, and I was out of those. So I just got them back for the first time in probably 2 years. Yeah, it's an incredible, and then Swiss had a 28-24 movement in it. I mean, my goodness, it is a banger. A fantastic watch.
And it's subtle. So we came out the gates kind of subtle, and I tell people that watch is the one where someone says, hey, that's a cool watch. Because there'll be something about it that grabs your attention, and then you take it off and you hand it to them, and then they look at it. That's what I like. That's the kind of watch experience I like. And that was what we came out with to try and get people into watches. We had some great success with it. It's funny, once we started running low on stock is when it really picked up speed. So I had all these people I had to say I don't have any more. I mean, I was selling show pieces. I'd have it at the show, and the guy's I need to have it. I was well, if you come back on Sunday, I can sell you the demo I'm using here for a couple $100 off or whatever. I mean, So those ones, it's funny that we just got them back in stock. And I mean, the value on that one, so that's where I always I try not to sell on, hey, you can get all our specs at a cheaper value. But in terms of like a good, solid Swiss movement, the sapphire crystal that's in it, the materials we use, all the stuff that we put into it, the pricing, I mean, I think it's like $689, but it's like a $1,500 watch, honestly. Yeah. So I don't have issues with that one. That was kind of our start, and then we realized that the guys I want to hook, right, the guys who don't wear watches, that price point's hard. Yeah, it's a hard entry level. That's like
for sure. Yeah,
yeah, it's expensive. So someone even mentioned to me, like, look, all these people want to buy your watches. They're younger, but they just can't get into it. So you got to get something in. So that's where I was working with, hey, what if we do an NH35 movement? And I was lean towards we were goofing around with something with the design. It was the map design. We had this idea. We're going to throw the pebble in the water and it makes the ripples. We had that. We had some of those ripples coming on, and then I got it to Alex Asfor, who does the art print on our website. He does like travel stuff. He's awesome, and we were working with him, and he's like, hey, I think this looks great like topography. So he made this like little pattern for us, and I put it in Photoshop to work around with it, and I hit invert, and it like went white. And I was like, holy cow, this is it. Like, it just was like, yeah. I got my Lume dial, and that's when we were like, look, let's focus on the Lume. Let's play with the Lume so it's a completely different look during the day and night, and use the Lume paint, not just to light it up, but to make it like a piece of art at night.
Yeah.
So
oh my goodness.
We printed on top of it, so you can see the contrast come out.
Yeah.
Which I don't know of anybody that's ever done that. I mean, they've used Lume to show images, but to like print on top of it, so when it glows, it shows like a map.
Yeah.
That was, I thought, awesome. And then we used the orange and the different blues in there. It was so that one hit.
Yeah, man. And now that's the Wayfinder, or the you're talking the Wayfinder sweeping quartz one, right?
Yeah, the Wayfinder Lume dial, and we put the quartz in it because we were trying to keep the cost low.
Cost low enough, yeah. The Lume is absolutely insane, because I remember when I first fully charged it and went into my room, you go like this with your wrist. It's like a freaking flashlight. It is so damn bright.
Insane.
It is so bloody cool. And here's kind of part of the conversation I wanted to have, because I know as a part of the review, even though we're filming this, and before I've even filmed my review of the Solar Chronograph, this one, I know for a fact that people are some people are gonna gripe about the price. And you and I were kind of pre-talking before recording. From everything that I am seeing out there in regards to watch prices and whatnot, you guys are priced competitively. Boulder, for example, great micro brand company. Their watches are like almost double yours in price, and they're selling. They're selling them. Yeah. So, what I love about your watches is the uniqueness in the design elements on all of them. Like, you're getting a unique piece. You're getting a solid watch, as you said, all of the specs that you want on a watch, as far as sapphire crystal, good movements, excellent finishing on the cases. And so for people that I'm learning more about what it takes to get a watch made. In fact, one of my YouTube pals lost his shirt on a model that he tried to release. After doing a fairly successful first model, they tried to release another one, and it was just, he lost thousands of dollars. And for people that, go, oh, I can go on AliExpress, or I can get another name brand for around the same or whatever. I just don't buy that argument anymore. I might have fallen into that camp a year or two ago. But the more I'm learning about what it takes to make a watch and produce a watch, and a unique watch, a watch that's like no other on the market, which you guys are producing, which is absolutely awesome.
Thank you.
I want you to educate the average person who's maybe into collecting watches, or just starting, or doesn't know the amount of time, effort, money that it takes to, like, what's the timeline, the basic process for making a watch, and just try and educate those that don't know, why your watches are priced the way that they are, because I think they're priced fairly, but people just don't understand why they're priced fairly. So educate us on that.
Yeah, I mean, you can go a couple different routes, right? So the route that we took was we got the prototypes done with one group. It was okay. The design, like the shape of the case and the idea was there, but I didn't like the movement we were working with. It was like a Miyota, like 8,000 series. It was horrible, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And there were definitely some stuff that I didn't like wearing the prototypes. So I ended up, going with a Wigan Watch Company who's over in Ohio, Mentor, Ohio. And you pay a lot more money to go to someone close by in the States who assembles and builds everything here. So all the stuff I had done up front, usually you get the upfront cost, right? You got to pay for the upfront machining and everything that's going to be used. And there's a big upfront. So I paid all that with the prototype and then said, you know what, this isn't a good fit. Went and paid for it all over again, right? Which is not, the customer doesn't, that's not, the customer should not absorb that cost, right? That's just how it goes. But yeah, well, when you make these, it depends on how large your batches are going to be. So let's say like you do 100 watches. That's usually a starting batch. We did, I think, 200 watches, but usually your minimum order quantities are going to be around 300. So you'll run 300 of the cases, and then you'll build 200 watches, right? And to do that, that's the lowest you can get. So you're paying the highest price per unit that you can do this, but unless you have the super deep pockets, we were self-funded. We didn't do the Kickstarter thing and get the money up front and then go use it. So that itself is a very large investment, especially the cost of the Lume, the cost of the units. So the cost of the movements is killing me right now, because when we came out in 2019, the Sellita SW200-1 was a heck of a lot cheaper. I mean, it's hugely increased, and I bumped my prices slightly just to kind of help accommodate, some of that. But look, the Seikos, the Citizens, all the stuff you can buy at Walmart, all the stuff you can buy on Alibaba, right? Those are mass-produced, large numbers, large quantities, and it's sometimes there's little to no design. There's minimal detail that's taken into it. Sometimes you'll get misaligned indices. You'll get the bezel doesn't line up. It's all the small stuff I don't know if you've ever seen it, but there's a good example of like an artist. He drew a picture in 1 second, 10 seconds, 1 minute, and 10 minutes. And it's a completely different quality. And that is, I think, ties directly into how you can do any product, right?
Yeah.
The time you put into it, the time you dedicate to it, all the small stuff gets included and worked out. So yeah, even like for us now, when I do batches, we don't go above usually more than 300 at a time, because I'm constantly churning. And for those who don't know the watch industry, I basically buy the watches, right? I don't have like, it's not like the watches are like, I can get them on like a net 60-day terms. No, I buy them. I usually pay half up front, half when they deliver. So at that point, all my cash flows out the door, right?
Yeah.
And unless you did the pre-order thing, you're like, let's sell them, let's go. We got to get back floating again. So the cash flow can be a challenge. We've been lucky enough to have them come in at waves and time things properly. So the only challenge for us has really been more keeping stock, right? Because like the seaplane.
Yeah.
Right when we were focusing on Wayfinder, seaplane started picking up, and then it's out of stock. And I'm like, oh my gosh! But I got more people who want the Wayfinder, and we're launching the new Cubs one, and it's like trying to keep the new models up and the old models back in. And the cost, like by the time they get to us, in the States, buying in smaller quantities, it's like boutique cost. That's just how it goes. And I think we're a great value for what we are. I challenge. I mean, there's guys who will be on forums or on Facebook that'll be like, I can get this watch. I can get this watch made for me. An Adam movement's only $200, and I can make this watch for $300. And I'm like, okay, go do it. Go do it, buddy.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
And hey, have fun with it.
Yeah. And how much? So, I have a couple of questions about the Wayfinder. The north side one, is it an actual map of Chicago or something like that, or are they?
Yeah. So it took a map of Wrigleyville and then kind of blacked it out and made it basically black and white. So
yeah. But the Wayfinder one is just a topographical design, so to speak, or is it an actual?
Yeah, that's no place. That's just, I tell people it's kind of like our Burberry plaid. Like Alex designed this for us. It's our kind of logo. The lines where the dots are that doesn't change. Like if you see, we have hats and stuff that have the image on it as well. So these will all have the exact same amount of lines, simplified maybe, but the two dots down at the corner, and then we try and put it on everything we have now because it's our identifier is that little map. So that no place in particular, just kind of a design. But then the north side edition, yes, is an actual place, and Wrigley Field is right above the where the hands meet in the center.
Yeah, yeah. And so, I mean, like I said, and I, the more I'm learning about the industry, about watch making, designing, and everything else like that, the more I realize, these companies deserve, respect and deserve for guys like yourself that are putting out pieces that, I get complimented all the time on this one.
I love that you put on the orange. That's awesome.
Yeah. And I mean, I've worn this a few times. Obviously, every time I wear a Farr and Swit piece, well, I've only got two of them. People notice, man. They that's a cool watch, and how fashion brands say that, and it's just it's but it's true. People have noticed those watches because they don't look like, a hodgepodge of watches. Great watches, though they may be, they don't look like. Watches that you can buy at a department store or whatever. The other thing I want to, comment on in regards to pricing is, when you're getting a piece from your company assembled in the U.S., how much of it is made in the U.S.? I know they're assembled in the U.S. Do you outsource most of the parts and then assemble them here? Or?
Yeah. I mean, most of the stuff's done overseas. I mean, the machining for the cases, and then Taiwan does our dials and hands and everything. And that I'm okay with. I was not okay with having a shop in China or a shop in Hong Kong build everything and send it to us. That I didn't like.
Yeah.
I did not like that. You lose complete control. You get scrap, basically, 20% scrap. That is something I wanted to do, and so bring it in. That gives you control. You can water test it. You can regulate it to have super accurate time. When you regulate those Solitas, they're awesome. I mean, they are people this is the best timekeeper I got. That's an automatic. I'm like, you just got to take the right time with it.
So that's maybe something I didn't know that. I didn't realize that. So you guys have the movements regulated before you send them out.
Oh yeah, I mean that's why these things keep such great time. When we build them with in Ohio, the time you take and how careful you are with this, and I mean it's just it's craftsmanship. It really is, and the time is dedicated to building it, to testing it, to making sure it's going to work. And then something that our company does, which you don't get with the lower priced or the Alibabas especially. I tell people look, I put out the best quality product we can. That's one of our main pillars. Put out the best quality product. And if you're not happy, if guys have told me, oh, the Wayfinder, the Lume didn't glow all night, I was like, okay. Hey, you know what? I don't want you unhappy. Send it back. No big deal. Send it back. So I tell people, if my product, which is I make sure to put out the best product. And if the best product doesn't make you happy, I'm going to come over the top with my customer service and make sure that
Yep.
you leave happy. I mean, I got 5-star reviews. I'm actually happy to announce I've got 5-star reviews from customers who return products. Like they returned the product and then they went and gave me a 5-star review.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, like, it's real easy to say like, hey, you bought it, no returns, or hey, you put down the deposit on the, the pre-order. I have no issues. If someone pre-orders and sends me an email, hey, I got one of these. Hey, I was a little bit drunk last night. My wife said I shouldn't buy this. No problem, dude. Like, I don't want your wife mad at you, and I don't want you getting the watch and she doesn't like the watch, and then you both have, you know what?
Yeah.
When you're ready, come back to me and we can figure this out. But that's another part that is not included that does have a high cost to it, because I have to figure out, there's stuff that, we help people out. Someone leaves the crown open and goes diving in the water and comes out and says, oh my gosh, I got moisture in it. Usually you send that in and it's going to cost you a ton of money. I figure out a way to try and take care of somebody the best that I can. And there's a cost to that.
Yeah.
And that all kind of rolls into what you're buying when you buy a Farr and Swit. Is you're going to get taken care of. You're going to be happy. And if you're not happy, then send it back and you can, go find something else that makes you happy.
And you're just sparking something in my mind here in regards to that, because I've had experience with like the Alibaba. I've done a couple of videos on San Martin, who everyone touts as this fantastic brand, and another buddy of mine just got one of their watches and highlighted it on his channel. And the machining on the finish was absolutely horrific. On the one that I had, I didn't even really notice it until I got the camera up close and was doing the review on it, and I was like, holy shit, this is awful, like absolutely awful. And, the response I got back from San Martin was, we've never had a complaint about our finishing. Our finishing is one of the best things that we do. And I'm like, you just did get a complaint. Like, this is terrible. And how much of, maybe percentage-wise or whatever, is customer service factored into the cost? Because hands down, I would rather pay a few $100s plus for a watch more than a cheap AliExpress watch, because I know, like guys like Mark over at Long Island Watch, if you have an issue, not even a problem, drop of a hat, it's solved. That's got to be. Is that something that you guys include in the price?
Percentage in. I have a general ballpark we kind of look at as what I consider to be warranty cost. So I kind of roll that all into there, and I mean it's all built in. I don't want to go into percentages, but
I understand that.
Built in.
But that's something that's a factor in the price. Yeah. Yes,
absolutely. That's fact. Like, I try and factor that in to be like, look, if we need X amount, we should make sure we cover some of that. For the value of what we're giving. And if we're bringing someone a value like that, the fact that you can buy the watch, return it. You don't like it, send it back. Buy the watch, break it, and have us fix it. I mean, there is great value in that, and I recognize that, and that's part of the whole package that you get when you buy from us. I don't want to be the cheapest thing. Like I think I told you earlier, like, if you're a homage company, your goal is kind of to make something that looks really similar and the cheapest price. This is what you can get the most bang for your buck, or the best specs, the best look. I don't want to be that. Other people do that better than me. I want to be different, and I want to be unique, and I want people when they buy something to feel good when they buy it, like to not have that buyer's remorse. And if they have the buyer's remorse, we take care of it. We either make them, feel comfortable with it and show them that we're here to take care of them, or we take it back.
Yeah. And that's, and that's again, why I would say, for anyone looking into, getting a watch. Oh, hey, remember I told you my daughter was coming home? There it goes. Go see her, baby. I have said this, and I'll say it again, like, the solar chronograph, now you're going to have to correct me if I'm wrong, is like $459, $489.
$489. I mean, if guys really want to like bargain hunt, they'll find coupons places.
Yeah. And, honestly, this is a watch that I will never get rid of. I'm totally happy with, the cost. And I pay more because I'm Canadian. I get hosed. Now you give me a little bit of a discount, which was nice to help out, and I appreciated that because the Canadian dollar right now is almost 40%. It's crazy. Like the last I looked, it was at $1.38, and I'm like, oh. And so this, you know, for me, this, even with the little discount that you gave me, it was still close to 600 Canadian dollars for me to buy. And people are going to go, oh my God, you could have bought, but you know what? I bought a damn good watch, and I bought something that very few people have seen a watch like this.
Yeah.
My buddy Travis over at Trap Vision, I don't know if he got this one, but you know, I post on Instagram like one of the coolest chronograph watches that you will ever see, this one right here. And then the Vice edition is like, oh my God, I'll probably get one of those too. It's gorgeous. And you know,
that one is awesome. And this movement, I was so hyped and pumped about this movement because I dug around. I spent a lot of time looking through specs, and working with even Weekend Watch. I was like, I found a movement they didn't know existed. I found a solar powered, small seconds where it ticks, but on the chronograph, to get that sweep, it's like the sweep of that actual second on a solar power is very hard to find. I finally posted the movement. It's a Seiko Epson movement, but when I launched it, I was so excited about it that I wasn't necessarily sharing what the movement was because people kept asking me like other competitor brands. I was like, just give me a year with this one because I'm so pumped about it.
Yeah.
And that's a spec nerd, right? That's me. Like, oh my gosh, I found a solar powered and these are so awesome that you get just a couple hours of sunlight and it powers the thing. And then even when it's dead, you just bring it out and get some sunlight and you're back running again. Like it's just,
And this one I can say
sweeping quartz. Oh my God, we'd be golden.
Yeah. And just so people know, and I'll mention this in the review, like when this one came, it was ticking once every 2 seconds, or it was like it needed to get powered up, basically.
Oh yeah, look, tick tick, because it'll tick tick for each second.
Yeah.
Tick tick. And it'll wait 2 seconds, then it'll tick.
Yeah, and then it'll tick twice. Yeah. So I was like, okay, it just needs to get some sunlight, and yeah, I mean, I just.
And you're setting customs for a little while.
Yeah. Yeah, we were a little worried, and that's you know, so. We're gonna we've been talking for 35 minutes, and I really appreciate your time. What is coming up? You know, do you have more lines coming? You mentioned something about did you mention something about a Cubs one or something, or?
So we just restocked the Wayfinder Lume dial. We just restocked the Cubs one, which is the Wayfinder Northside edition. Those have been people like they're moving quick. And then next up, I'll open a pre-order again for the Vice edition. This is the bubblegum one where it's going to have a pink grid. Actually, it's pretty badass.
Yeah, let me just go over to it right now on the website so people can see this one. I mean, so here is the Vice edition that sold out, that limited to 85. So, oh my gosh, that is just, the bubblegum is so damn cool. Oh.
Yeah, and I've got, people keep emailing me like, when are you launching? When's the pre-order? When's the pre-order?
Yeah.
And I appreciate everyone for their patience.
It's coming soon, people. Yeah.
Yeah, what I want to do is, it's in production, but what I want to make sure is like, I know no one wants to wait a long time, so I want to make sure I have a real good target a couple months out. And then I'll make sure, you know, that you get it in a couple months. I don't want people waiting more than that.
And what's the cost of the Vice?
I did get from the Vice was people like ordered it and then like, oh shoot, I didn't realize a pre-order. So now they're like, oh great, I've been waiting 4 months for it. And
so the Vice one, the bubblegum one, what's the cost of that going to be?
That one, I believe it's $415.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, and the Vice. We usually do like a sort of a sweetener deal right when we launch it for pre-order. So we'll give like maybe a weekend of a discount. And they usually go quick. Like the last time, my phone pings when people order, and it was just bing, bing, bing. It was nuts. It was a fun launch. It was a very fun launch. So yeah, we've got the bubble gum, and then we're toying with some new ideas. I mean, just different directions we could go completely. I'd love to do something. material that would be unique, and also lower the price point, so it could be ones you could buy for your kids, and we could customize colors, and we're gonna see. I got some wild ideas, but Chris, one of my problems is I launch a watch, and then right when I'm selling it, I'm designing the next one or two in the future, which is good for the pipeline. But the last year I was like, I need to chill out. I need to stop trying to design a new watch and enjoy what I've got and satisfy the customers that want the ones I've got.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's and again, it's tricky because you order a batch of whatever, and if a lot of them are selling before you even get them, like how many of the Vice do you think, like the bubblegum one, are you going to get a batch of 200 of those?
I've had 100 cases ready to go, so I could shotgun it fast. So this first batch will be 100, and then when that sells, then I got to decide which, if I'm out of, because I'm almost out of the Cubs.
Yeah, because you're using the same case as of the Solar Chrono on the. Are you using the same case?
It's the same shape. It's just I can't interchange them, so I can't buy a bunch of cases and then drill holes for pusher buttons or anything, because they're different. They're different. Different movements.
Movements are different.
Different heights, stem heights, and everything. So that gets to be a little more tricky. So usually when you do the case, you want to match it to the movement you're going to use. Otherwise, you can always put a quartz inside of an automatic usually, but it can get a little more complex with these solar models because they're just a different animal.
Yeah.
So once this bubblegum, we'll see if it sells out quick. I got to decide how to get more Cubs probably, and how to get more of those as well. Yeah.
And which one, it's hard to say because you only made 85 of the other one. But the Wayfinder, the sweeping quartz in the north side, they're very popular. Those
are the best sellers.
Yeah.
With the exception of the Vice, I think if you look at my list of notify when in stock, the Vice, if I had just not limited it, if I limited it to 1985, I probably would have sold those. It was crushing. That's why the pink one, I'm hoping to get some of those out the door, make sure people are happy, and then keep pushing that one to make sure customers get it.
Yeah, man, I definitely hope to be getting one of those because it's just the cool factor on it. And you call it Vice. Does that have anything to do with Miami Vice or just the I know it's 80s kind of color schemes and that.
Without copyright infringement, that was the idea. We were talking about with the white Lamborghini, the white Ferrari, and someone's a Miami Vice, dude. That's what it sounds like. I was like, Vice, I like it. We'll just call it the Vice edition.
Yeah.
Right. We'll make it 85 of them because it's right around the 1985 era, and yeah.
Yeah. So cool. Well, I also want to let people know I'm proudly an affiliate partner with Farr and Swit now. And so the link for my affiliate link will be in the description below, and I mean no hesitation whatsoever to partner with you in that way because I just love your brand, and people also need to know they sell more than watches. There's hats, there's shirts, there's hoodies, there's other there's sunglasses.
Our sunglasses, I gotta get more of those in stock. Those I don't promote them enough, but when people see them, they're like, "Holy cow, these are awesome!" I was like, "I know they're wood, they're polarized, they look awesome.
Yeah.
They float, sort of.
Yeah. So you got to check out the website, and of course it'll be in the description and whatnot. And I want to thank Adam for taking the time to discuss the brand. Hopefully those of you that are watching have learned a little bit about why these micro brands are worthy of your attention, in particular Farr and Swit. Farr and Swit, however you want to pronounce it, is completely worthy of your dollar spent because you're getting a watch that is again, I just can't say enough about them. They're so unique, they're so cool. The designs on them are just unlike any other watch that I've seen, and I just kind of what got me about this one. Not only the color scheme was really cool, But that tire tread on there was just. Some people are going to go like, "Oh, that looks stupid. Looks like the dial got run over by." It's like that's the point.
But it's
It's so
Everything's
freaking cool. I love it.
Andy came up with that. That one was a long time in development because we were trying to do an auto themed watch, and it was looking a lot like everybody else's auto themed watch.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And this, I don't remember how we even came up with it. Like it was like, whoa, this is cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what kind of got me, and it's just one of those things. I kind of like to look at, when I look at a dial, it's got to attract me, right? Like you got to want to look, like even when you don't even want to know what time it is, you got to want to look at your watch. Like it is.
That's a good point.
It's a piece of art on your wrist. And yours are definitely that. And it's just like, I don't even look at it a lot of the time when I'm wearing it to check the time. I'm just enjoying it. I know
exactly what you're saying. My wife will catch me and she'll be like, "What time is it?" I was like, "Oh, I don't know. Let me check." She said, "You just looked at your watch." I was like, "I was just looking at it. I was just admiring it. I didn't look at the time."
Yeah, exactly. So is there anything that you want to share kind of at the close of this conversation? And again, thanks so much for taking the time. I know you got
no, I appreciate
family
that.
at home and that.
No, I mean, come check us out. We got unique stuff. We put a lot into our design. We put a lot, like as I mentioned, into our customer service. And I want you to like have our watch and have it kind of be an experience. And then get to know us. One of the things we really pride ourselves on is like, you ping me on Instagram. Like that's me. I'm talking to you. You want to call the phone number on the website. I'll pick up. I'll have a chat. You're local. Hey, let's come grab a beer. I'll bring some watches along and we can talk. That's, I think, part of the whole experience, to say the same word again, but that's the whole thing you get, the whole package you get with us. And it's like a community, and like the Farr and Swit owners, we all kind of hang out and we host parties once a year, the customer appreciation. We just actually call them appreciation parties because even if you're not a customer yet, you can still come and attend them.
Cool.
But yeah, I'm just happy to be part of the watch community. I love them. And if you're not into watches, that's the other one I like to do, is to hook you back in and get you into this addictive hobby, which will drain your wallet.
It will, yeah. Yep, and I gotta say, you know, one of the great things that you can tell about your brand is that you are a watch enthusiast. Like you can tell by what you're making that you want to make something that people are gonna love, people are gonna appreciate. It's going to look cool. It's going to be unique. As I said, I don't know how many times I'm going to say that in review. This is the most unique piece, most unique chronograph watch I've ever seen. And, you know, even if you guys made another 1,000 of them or whatever, and that would be awesome if you were to sell another 1,000 or more.
Oh, yeah,
there's still going to be, in my neck of the woods, I don't know of anyone. I don't know if I'll ever see this where I live in Ontario, Canada. I don't know if I'll see this on anyone else's wrists in my lifetime other than mine. That's super cool factor for me. That you're getting a really good timepiece that just looks cool and different from anything else anyone else has ever seen. So thank you guys for that, because these pieces are, you know, I'm never getting rid of them, man. I love them.
I appreciate that. Thanks you so much for like taking the time and chatting with me.
Yeah, man. And thank you for your time. And once again, everybody, do you guys have a YouTube page? I mentioned to you, just trying to find it.
But like I'm more active on Instagram. The YouTube more collects the videos, the reviews that people do on us.
Yeah.
It's got maybe a little interview of me with a blog to watch from a while back and a couple of little notes.
Yeah, it's not
I do Instagram more than anything else. It's just
yeah.
I'm stretched thin. If one of these days I'll get a little helper who can help me do it.
Yeah, well, no worries, man. I get it. And so what I'll do is I'll link the YouTube page as well, but I'll definitely link the Instagram page into the description of this video. And of course, the website, and if you have an eye on one of their amazing watches, use my affiliate link and get yourself a bit of a discount on these watches, guys. And yeah, please go and buy one because you will not be disappointed. They're fantastic. And so please go to the Farr and Swit website, which is linked below. Again, I want to thank Adam for taking the time to talk and chat about the brand and give us a bit of an education on what it takes to get a watch out there, and why micro brands are, you know, maybe more money than some people want them to be, but they need to be, and they should be. And micro brand companies like Farr and Swit that are producing really good watches and unique watches, one-of-a-kind watches, are definitely worth the money they're asking. And so go get yourself one. You're not going to be disappointed. Thanks again, Adam, so much for taking the time. Appreciate it. Have a good night, fella. Appreciate you.
You too.
All right.